Hey bakers, welcome back to another one of my videos where I show you how to make delicious treats at home. Today I have for you a beautiful chocolate layer cake that is perfect for birthdays or any other celebrations. It has a rich chocolatey taste and can be customized using decoration. Stay tuned and make sure you subscribe to my channel. First off, the chocolate frosting, and for that you'll need 400 grams of heavy cream, 20 grams of cocoa powder, 85 grams of sugar, 250 grams of mascarpone cheese, 5 grams of gelatine powder or gelatin sheets, 100 grams of heavy cream, and finally 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. So you want to go ahead and pour some cold water in a bowl or a container, and to that you want to add the gelatin sheets and let them soak in water. In the meantime, you need to pour the first part of the heavy cream in a pot and add in the sugar. Mix that very well and set the heat on medium. You can also add the vanilla extract or vanilla paste and wait for the mixture to come to a boil. At this point in time, make sure you mix it very well so it doesn't stick at the bottom of the pot. Once that has come to a boil, you want to remove the gelatin sheets from the water and then add them into the hot heavy cream mixture. Then using a heat-proof spatula, that is actually important, you want to mix that until the gelatin has completely melted. Set that aside and let's get moving with the mascarpone cheese that you can pour in a bowl that is big enough, of course, for this frosting. With that, you can add in the hot cream and gelatin mixture that we've just made, as well as the remaining cold cream that we've set aside earlier. Some cocoa powder as well that you might want to sift before. And now it is time for the hand mixer or any other mixer that is plungent in order to mix that well together. Don't worry too much in the mixing process if you're seeing any air bubbles. That is actually normal and not a problem at all. The idea is to make sure that the cocoa powder blends well with everything else and the mascarpone cheese and heavy cream are well combined. Once you have this silky texture, that's when you know you're done. And what you need to do at this point is to put that in another bowl or container and simply let it set in the fridge for at least 6 hours or overnight if possible. Next up, we want to move ahead to making the cake batter, and for that we will need 170 grams of butter, 280 grams of sugar, 180 grams of flour, 130 grams of dark chocolate, 20 grams of cocoa powder, 2 eggs, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, and ready-to-use liquid coffee. In a pot over medium heat, you want to pour the butter and chocolate as well as the ready-to-use liquid coffee. That's 216 grams of liquid coffee, give or take. That can be instant coffee or regular coffee, of course. You want to pour that into the pot and mix together until it melts completely. Make sure you keep stirring so it doesn't stick at the bottom of the pot. You will know that it's ready to use when all the butter and chocolate have melted. At this point, you can put it in another bowl in order to stop it from cooking and to help it cool down faster. You can also give it a stir to help the cooling down process. Once you notice that the batter has completely cooled, you want to crack both eggs in and then mix them using a whisk. You want to be careful here because if the batter isn't cool enough, it will cook the eggs. So once the eggs are completely combined, you want to add in the cocoa powder that is sifted yet again in order to avoid any lumps from forming. Add in the flour and baking powder all at once, and finally, of course, you want to add in the sugar. Give that a whisk that is very gentle at first to avoid making a mess. You can also use a spatula if the whisk is getting a bit harder at this point. You will know you're done when it's all mixed together, of course, and it has a shiny appearance and no more lumps. It is now time to prepare a sort of alfoil cover for the mold. This is actually going to help the cake remain smooth and not have any hard edges. All you need is alfoil, some napkins, and a bit of water on top of it. Then you can fold that together to match the width of your mold. And simply place that all around your mold and make sure you seal it very well at the end. It needs to be a bit humid but not too wet either. After that, you want to go ahead and pour all the batter of your mold. Make sure that you've buttered and floured the mold, or you can also use some parchment paper to prevent the cake from sticking. You can bake the cake at 150 degrees C or 300 F for about an hour or an hour and a half, depending on your oven. You can check with a toothpick or a skewer to know if the cake is done. When the cake has completely cooled down at room temperature, that's when you want to cut it with a cake leveler or a bread knife. The idea here is to cut 2 layers of the cake, so make sure you do this as evenly and as neatly as possible. you will have some leftover cake on the upper half that you can use for some cake pops or any other application that you like. Once both cake layers are cut and ready to use, you can set that aside and move on to removing the chocolate frosting from the fridge. What we are going to do with this frosting is that we're actually going to whip it to add some air to it and give it a little bit more texture. We can use a stand mixer or a hand mixer as well, and you need to mix that for 5 to 10 minutes depending on your mixer. Once that is done, you can put it in a piping bag or simply use it as is. I personally prefer the piping bag because it gives us even layers when putting it on the cake. So next up, you want to apply a first layer between the two cakes. And you can use your rotating plate to do that, and a palette knife, of course, or a spatula to even it out on top. You can then put the second cake layer on top, and you can apply some pressure on the top layer to make sure it's even. This is the part where we are going to make the crumb coat. That is the first coating of frosting that's going to cover the cake and prevent any crumbs from getting out. You can also use a spatula for even layers and simply scrape it down using a palette knife or any other tool that you might have on hand. The idea here is to keep a rather thin layer because this is actually only here to seal any crumbs or any imperfections that we might have on our cake. That is why it is very important when cutting it in the first time to have even cuts. Using a scraper, I am actually giving a nice finish to the sides as well as the top. Using a palette knife or smaller spatula is also an option. Once that step is done, you can let the cake rest in the fridge for at least 30 minutes or until the frosting has completely set. Once the cake is taken out of the fridge, you can repeat the same process until we've covered the whole thing with a final clean layer of chocolate frosting. You might notice that while you're doing this, you have a few air bubbles that are going to show up, especially on the sides. That is totally fine since we have whipped the frosting. The technique for removing any air bubbles is to use your rotating disc or rotating plate on a very slow speed. This will get rid of any air bubbles very easily. You can also resort to a smaller palette knife for any small and local adjustments. Finally, you can go ahead and decorate the cake any way you prefer. Personally, I went for this piping of frosting that is small and goes all around the cake. I later on added a few flowers. I find that the violet flowers match well the dark chocolate color. So there you go, guys. This is the finished layer cake. You might want to let that rest for an hour or two in the fridge before serving it, especially in warm weather. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section. If you make this recipe, please be sure to share the result with me over on Instagram. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you're the first to see my next recipes. See you next week, and as always, bon appetit!